Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Fire emojis in the chat box if you can hear me. Fire emojis in the chat box if you can hear me today. It's Monday. Another Monday, another week closer to the season. Another week down. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Rookies reporting soon. Veterans reporting next week. It's almost that time, people. It's almost that time. Rookies report at the end of the week. Veterans report on the 25th. First practice the 26th. It's almost that time. It's almost that time. It's almost that time. Before we get started, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Before we get started, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Go ahead, drop a like on the video. If you've not hit the bell, go ahead and hit the bell so you can be notified when they all come out. And speaking of notified, I see some of you have done it already. You know, hashtag Know the Game. Hashtag Know the Game. Go ahead and let's send a shout out to our Know the Game from our last live. Our very last live we did last week. You got T Sizzle, which I think's the first time that T Sizzle has made an appearance on the Know the Game board. Ozzy 101 and C Iron Addict. And so, you know, if you're new and you don't know what's going on with the Know the Gang, it's simply you coming in and putting hashtag Know the Gang in the comment section. And it's a shout out from me to you, letting me know that YouTube is doing its job of notifying you guys when the lives come out, when they're about to, you know, be presented to you. And that's basically a CYA. Me letting me know that YouTube did its job of letting you know that I'm about to go live. That's what that is. So I know YouTube is doing its job and I'm doing my job of putting the content out there. And so basically it's CYA, and I appreciate you guys doing that. And even if you're not one of the first three, whenever you get the notification, come on in, just like Living Legend did, put hashtag Know the Gang in, and we get this thing going. And the rookies may report tomorrow. They might. I thought I saw the 18th on something. I just wasn't sure. I thought I saw the 18th on something. Rookies may report tomorrow. All right, now we'll say this before we get started. On Wednesday's show, and I'll say it again before we get up out of here. On Wednesday, and I know some of them are still available, but on Wednesday's show, if you live in the area of the stadium, in the Baltimore area, and you don't have tickets to the open practice, we're going to look into giving some away. We already gave a set away last week. So if you live in the Baltimore area and you don't have a set of tickets to the open practice, the stadium practice, we're going to look into giving another set away. So, you know, tell a friend that they might want to be here for the show Wednesday. If they don't have tickets to that stadium practice, there may still be some available. I did see some evil people on eBay selling tickets. That's the worst of the worst. But Wednesday we're going to be, you know, potentially giving away a pair if they don't have a pair or set to the stadium practice now. The stadium practice. And again, we gave away a set last week. The plan is to give away a set Wednesday. So if you know somebody that wants to go and they normally are not in here for the stream, you might tell them to get their butt here for that stream Wednesday. Because I plan to give away a pair Wednesday. All right. So little story time. I want to thank everybody that watched the Morris to the Tally countdown on Friday and sent happy anniversary wish yous to me and the missus aka executive producer, aka management, aka everything else. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And so while on a little hiatus, met some Steelers / Chiefs fans from the Kansas City area, and had a little fun time or whatever. But got introduced. I was convinced to play a game that I thought was stupid. That was and I called it hack and sack, being butthole, but I know it's not hack and sack. It's called cornhole, and I always thought it was stupid, non-competitive. Like, why people even play this game? So we played it, and being ultra uber competitive, if I want to play something, I want to win. Let me put myself back on the screen. Being ultra uber competitive, I want to win. Well, we played, after, enjoying a tour and some other things with these people. Keep in mind, we just met them like 2-3 hours before this happened. And, man, we got my butt whooped. And I don't like losing at nothing. So, at this point, I'm playing it off. I'm cool with it. I'm happy. But inside, I'm fuming because I don't like to lose at nothing. And I'm not good at cornhole, but we owned the game. But I just never took it serious because I thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid until I got my butt kicked. And so now at this point, I come to the stream because I got to come and check on y'all and make sure I chat and whatnot. And we get the chance to play again. So now I'm focused. Not knowing how focused my other half was too. So we ain't communicated because I'm on the stream, she talking, doing whatever. We ain't talked about getting our butt whooped or nothing. We just went on about our day. But I ain't know how she was just as locked in as I was. So we go to play them a second time. And, I start to find my groove, and I get the whatever the little throw thing is in the hole a couple times and whatnot. And so at one point I hit like 4, 5, 6 in a row in the hole. And so as the game goes on and I start to figure it out more, and instead of letting them score, we start to inch up and build a lead. So we get toward the end and they start to get their groove back. And so the guy that's throwing with me is pretty darn good. But both of them pretty good. And we're kind of canceling each other out. And so we get down to the nitty gritty, to the clutch. And the executive producer over there, she throwing them, and when she would let it go from my hand, I'm thinking, man, you're throwing it too hard. It's gonna slide off the board. And when I tell you, came through like Steph Curry in the fourth, 3 out of 4, swish, 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 and we walk out winners, bruh. Hey, clutch, ice water in the veins. When I tell you it was dead serious, hey, that's why we like that. Cause I know I was mad from losing, not knowing she was mad, or not necessarily mad, but like don't like losing just as much as I did. We won that game, and it was fun though. It was extremely fun. It was all fun and games, but still I don't like losing. And it ended up being something that, and I know I'll take cornhole more serious. I didn't know the competitive juices would come out like that, but they did. And it, trust me, when we get back to our situation, cornhole will be in the yard a lot more than in the garage. But let's move on to that story time for today. Let's move on to what we're here for. So no, matter of fact, I need to shout these people out too. Again, we got Patreons, and I don't want to let the Patreons go unnoticed. And so what I did was, I had to go clean my Patreon out. And what I will tell you this is, now, there are some people that when you join the Patreon, they just never go back and check it. Everything's okay, hunky-dory and fine and whatnot. That ain't me. Join the Patreon. I'm going to give you whatever I say I'm going to give you, access to whatever. But if for whatever reason, it may be your fault, it may not be, when you ain't in there anymore, the access is going to be gone. That's just me. Sorry. Whether it be my fault, your fault, the atmosphere's fault, the access is going to be gone. So I went and cleaned up mine today. And for everybody that's still there, here's your shout out for the month. So I just want to make sure I shout you out individually. Then we'll get into why we're here for today. And then we'll keep this thing rolling. All right. Oh, Alex. I had a chance to meet Alex in person at a Ravens game. So shout out to you, Alex, for still being a patron. Make sure. There we go. Asa, Bill Seals, my Canadian friend. Brandon Buck, who's our newest patron. I appreciate you, Brandon. I got you coming soon. I talked to you about, about your chalice, so make sure I got you coming soon. Brandon Bazel, our family member who just got married a couple weeks ago. Matter of fact, about 10 days ago. Appreciate you, Brandon. Chevron Burton, Chris Ardman, D Weezy, DDSQ, Jared Green, Jason Isom, Jesse Wallace, Jonathan Phillips, Joshua Hoffman, just Joshua, Lance Reed, Lunch Break Hot Take, What Up Jose and B, Living Legend, Matt D, Michael Crawford. Michael Crawford was also on the Deep Cover Pod with Chris Just Joking. Mo, OTR Mike from who will be on the round table with us, the roundup with us tonight. P Brown the third. I had to change that today for them 3 eyes, so I ain't say P Brownie again. Hendo from the Road Pod, Big Reg, Robert Lower, SGA Hornet, Sippy Special 662, Slick Gotham, Tyrone, Vaughn, Wayne Wheatley, Will G, and Yolanda B. So I appreciate everybody for being Patreons, and I want to make sure I give you your shout out for the month of July. And every month you guys will get a personal shout out because I put that in the description. I want to make sure I do that. And so that's your shout out for the month. And again, we'll get the different rewards and whatnot rolling again next month. You'll start to get your personalized videos once we get people on the grass. So you'll get some videos that the general public won't get. You'll get some videos, some behind the scenes videos also once we start to get different game film and stuff like that. So again, I appreciate you guys for being Patreons, and you guys are the lifeline of the channel. All right. Now, while we're here, the reason why we're here, let me get to our Jane Doe comment of the day. And again, Jane Doe comment of the day, we all know who commented. It's Jeremiah. No big secret. Jeremiah W. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger so I can read it. He said, we're talking about Melvin Ingram. Maybe he's a good player who could certainly help. Excuse me. But I would rank him behind several other options who are free agents. Houston is the same age and had much better production last year and is already one of our guys at this point. I would probably prefer JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, Big Reg's favorite player. The other options I would prefer are Yannick Ngakoue and Jadeveon Clowney, who are 28 and 30. And likely more productive going in forward. I'm really high on Dr. Rush. That's the coach. The potential of the in-house already, and almost any good veteran who can. Let me see if I got a T-shirt in the way. Who can win the pass rush at a high rate and reverse roles of the job. Justin Houston or Yannick for me would be the best to fill that spot. I appreciate you, Jeremiah. You know the routine. You'll go in on the wheel at the end of the month, and hopefully he won't win for a third month in a row, but y'all just going to let him win because y'all don't come in. But we're going to fix that. But again, appreciate you, Jeremiah. But I got something to kind of go with what Jeremiah talked about. And Jeremiah, he always adds some deep insight to his comments. And that's what I like about Jeremiah. He don't just say yes, no, maybe. He adds context context to his comments. And even when other people put comments in there, that's one of the reasons why I always pick Jeremiah, because he don't just say yes, no, maybe. He adds to it. And so it's you can build upon what he says. And so let's talk about Melvin Gordon a little bit. Melvin Ingram a little bit. This is what he's done with the Chargers. Let me get this off so we can see. We don't need that extra in there. All right, this is what he's done with the Chargers. From 2012 to 2020 with the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers. 113 games, 3 interceptions, 28 passes defended, 14 forced fumbles, 49 sacks, 360 tackles, 70 forced fumbles, 108 QB hits, 70 tackles for losses. All right. So that's not bad over the 8 seasons with the Chargers. He had a stint where he played with 2 other teams, but let's just talk about last year, because really is what have you done for me lately. Last year with the Dolphins, played in all 17 games, no interceptions, 1 pass deflected, 1 forced fumble, 6 sacks, 22 tackles, 7 forced fumbles, 10 QB hits. Now, this is, before I put this next slide up there, this is no shot. This is not a shot. Hear me out. This is not a shot at Oweh. But I just had to add Oweh's numbers up here to give some context to the other options out there. And now Jeremiah spoke on the other options, out there, and without even seeing Jeremiah's post, I put some guys up there. So it's 4 guys on this next slide, and I'll go ahead and put it up there. But I just want you to see in comparison to what we had versus what's out there. All right, you have Melvin Ingram in the first slot. You have Oweh in the second slot, Houston in the third, and Ngakwe in the fourth. I'm just giving you options as to what we have. Oweh in house. Houston was on the team last year and kind of knows like the lay of the land and how the team works, and the different players on the team. Probably has a relationship with Oweh. I know he has a relationship with Matabike. Probably has some kind of, because they don't even play much with Ojabo. Ngakwe he's the youngest one of the group, minus Oweh. So this is a group of guys that are out there. Which one would you bring back? Which one? I'm gonna leave this up here while we get to the one call we have, and before we get to, our 6 o'clock show. So let me work my magic real quick. Get us situated. Hold on 1 second. Make sure we straight on this end. See if we good on this end. Green, you got me? What's good? What's good? I thought I had to make sure it was right because I was twiddling with my mic and I pulled the cord out, so I had to make sure we was good. Let me see. But you're not right. Let me get the desktop out of your good. Hold on 1 second. I can hear you, but the people can't. Give me 1 second to make sure it's good. No, I think I got you. We good. All right. So yeah, you good. You good now. So what you think about the options? What you think about them?
I'm leaning heavily towards Justin Houston for a couple key factors. One, he's experienced. We got enough youth, I think, on board already between bringing in Trent Simpson and Tavion Robinson. We still don't know, but we got a Malik Harrison all the way, I don't believe. And I know these are more so linebackers and not just solely pass rushers, but I'm just thinking of all our box defenders, like the group as a whole. We're missing just that one guy we can hang our hat on as a pass rusher. We would like to say Oweh is that guy and Ojabo is that guy, but these guys are project players right now. I think Ojabo has more promise than Oweh. I think he's more of a natural football player. But I would bring Yoda back because, like you were saying, he's one of our guys seemingly already in the locker room, and we already gave up that Kyle Bell, lineman and Calais Campbell up front. So Justin has been just productive consistently throughout his career, and like you were saying, this is what have you done for me lately business. The man had basically 10 sacks last year, and he's 33 years old, 34 years old. So with the depth that we would have around him, we got a lot of key young pieces, some, mid-card vets and whatnot. We got a good mix of our box defenders right now. We just need that one guy, that one veteran to lead the ship, you know what I mean? And he's productive. He fills a role as a leader. He's a locker room guy. He's a character guy. And he's going to sharpen the iron of these young guys and project them into the role of our primary pass rusher. Pass on that knowledge, show them how to be pros, keep their body in shape, handle themselves as pros off the field, and, just lead them along the path. So I think he's the most seamless fit to bring back. I would probably go Ngakwe. A lot of people won't like that, but I think they look too much into his first tenure with us. It's a completely different defense now. New coordinator, mostly new players. I would look heavily into Ngakwe. if not Houston, just because he's a little younger but still just as productive.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
the big thing is that
you
nine
know,
and a half sacks.
yeah, I mean they both giving you basically 10 sacks. They're on the fringe of 10 sacks, so it's no real production drop off.
Mm-hmm.
But Ngakwe is a little younger, and
Right.
that would be my only edge over Houston. But I still would ideally want Houston before any of them.
I was reading an article and they were basically saying what each team needs to do, like one thing each team needs to do. And I got to the Giants and it was saying sign Yannick Ngakwe, and I was thinking, well, that can't work because he was in Wink's system before, and he was horrible.
Exactly.
But I was thinking it would work for us because this is totally different from what Wink does.
Completely new scheme. We got new personnel around them. And if you look at what our defense was after the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, we were a top 3 defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we carry that momentum, and going into next season, is we don't need to make a whole lot of changes, just a few nips and tucks around the edges. And I think
Right.
that's the main one we got to make defensively.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think we need insurance on the edge because we're gambling with the O's, and the O's could pay off. They really could. We could shoot a 7 with the O's, but we need something just in case we crap out with them. And that's what these guys on the board, and maybe a Clowny or somebody is their insurance, because the O's could really play out. They could.
Yeah.
But I just think
That's fact.
we need somebody. We need insurance. We need insurance because
That's fact.
we got to have something just in case, because we need both of them, honestly, to keep it a buck. We need both of them to do something. Owe and
And
Ojabo.
with EBC doing his thing, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he find a way to sneak both of them boys in house. Nip and tuck the contracts to where they're not coming off that much on the cap this year, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe give them a 2-year deal and a player option for the second year. However they do it, I know that's more NBA style contract
Mm-hmm.
negotiation, but it's so many things that EDC finds and loopholes that he finds and works his magic. Like, he's really restored my faith as a GM. The whole Lamar thing kind of had me on edge with him, but looking at what he's done since Lamar, he's really restored my faith as our GM. So, I'm confident he's gonna make the right move. It's just that we don't know what the right move is because we know we're so close as a team, and we want that next move to be like, yep, that's the one that secured the team going forward. So,
Yeah. With Owe not balling out, it could help him hang around a while. With him not just going out and exploding and getting 10, 15 sacks, he could get an average deal, which will keep him around longer. And if he's a late developer, that could help the team out.
it really
If he's a second contract, like if he develops in that second contract, that could definitely help the team out, because then you can sign Ojabo. He'll have a longer lifespan with Ojabo as he develops too, and we can have 2 edge guys that could develop into something special.
And that's what you call bookends right there, man. That's something we've never really had since maybe the early 90s Ravens days with McCrary, and what was the other one? What's his name?
Is it the kid from Florida State?
Bullware.
Bullware. Yep.
Terrell Suggs never really had a running mate on the opposite edge of him. Maybe you can say Trevor Price, but he was an older Trevor Price.
Mm-hmm. With Suggs, you had the interior guys and the linebackers. You never really had another edge guy to go with him.
He never really had a bookend. Maybe Elvis Dumerville for a year or two. Maybe if you squint your eyes hard enough. But he wasn't too consistent. His best days was in Denver. So I really want to see what we got in these 2 young boys, Tavius Robinson and the other one.
Right.
They names just slipping my mind.
Tavius from Ole Miss and Odafe Owe and Trent. Well, Simpson. I'm gonna wait to training camp and see how they use him. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait to training camp and see how they use him, because I see him one way. I think people see him another way, and I just don't want to go that back. I'm gonna wait till they start making reports and say, "Hey, Simpson's being used here, there, or wherever," before I give my 2 cents on Simpson.
Now let's just say they keep him at inside. Do you think it's some real smoke to the fire of us looking at trading Patrick Queen for old boy up in Washington?
I don't, but I could be wrong. But I don't.
think it's into that.
I don't.
I think we ride it out with Queen, and if he plays himself into a great deal, cool. But I would
Mm-hmm.
really like to keep him paired with Roquan as long term as possible.
Me too. I think this is one of those things where you just gotta wait and see. And you take the
Yeah,
third. If he balls out, you just take the third comp pick.
yeah,
That's where I'm at with it.
working match. Because I think that's how they view the Simpson kid. I think they view him as the replacement for Queen if we lose him to free agency next year.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I definitely can see that. But not just trade him away. Not being this close to a championship.
Nah, let's get this boy. If he gonna go, let's ship him out with a ring. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because if we keep this defense got all the makings to be special this season, and even moving beyond next season. We're
Hands
not really
down.
long in the tooth. We're not an old defense. So
Hands down. We got the makers to be special for 4 to 5 years.
I'm trying to tell you, man, if we can keep Matabike and Washington up front, Williams and Hamilton on the back end, Marlon ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And everything after that just got to be consistently revolved if we lose anybody. But those are the mainstay guys right there.
Most definitely.
So we got Roquan locked up. You know, if we lose P. Queen, cool. I would like to keep him. I wasn't his biggest fan, but this past season he kind of grew on me. And I think playing next to Roquan really brought out his potential. So that's why I don't want to let him go. The boy's still young, can play another 5-6 years.
Yeah, he played better, and so people started to like him when he played better. That's all it was. So
I would like to see him get a little bigger. Maybe it's too late to ask that of him at this point in his career. I mean, these guys are who they are at this point. It just seems like he's a little too
light in the pants.
Too light in the ass. Too light in the ass. Maybe a few bricks in the back pocket, you know. But the way these teams are passing now, it might suit him better to be lighter in the foot in coverage. But he blitzes well better than he does anything to me. Patrick Queen can get anywhere on the football field. It's just finishing tackles for him is his only issue.
And hopefully that tackle rate go up. It's been going up every year that he started, so hopefully it'll continue to go up. But I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Green. We're gonna close this thing out so we can go over to the other channel and watch the power rankings for the day. They normally go live at 6, so the premiere is probably starting. So I appreciate you for calling in, and we'll get back with you later on this week. So I appreciate you.
Indeed, sir. Take it easy, Coach.
You too, my boy. Baby. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
And like you guys just heard, it's 6 o'clock. It's time for the More Sip to Tally Power Rankings. I'm going to close the stream, and if you do nothing, the stream's going to shoot you right over to the More Sip to Tally channel, and we can see today's number on the Power Rankings. So that's what we need to go over to that channel, and let's meet over there. Do nothing, just meet over there.